the audience, you remember what you want them to remember. The way I do that, during my delivery, I have certain power lines that I wrote. Power lines equals quotes. And what I do, I start talking, and then I build up momentum. Then I pause. I say the line, and pause again. And usually, you see people go like, oh, that was powerful. Write it down. So I drive this point is a way to almost like to imprint those words in someone's mind. Right? So it'll be something like, and here's the most important point of this workshop. If you don't tell a story, the marketplace will create one about you. You see what I did? I said, and here's the most important part of the workshop. What I did after. I pause, yeah. Then deliver the line. Then I did what? Pause. Yes? So when you have like powerful, kind of like one-liners, that's how we do it.
2004, I hosted an event where we had, I don't know, maybe 300-400 people, and this guy, Phil Tyrone, showed up. And so Phil, at the end of the event, goes, hey, that was awesome. Do you want people to actually do what you're talking about? After being offended for a second, I said, well, of course. He goes, well, you got to meet this guy, Roberto Monaco. So he introduces me to Roberto. And shortly after, my partner's died in a plane crash, so the day I was supposed to do with Roberto doesn't happen. Then I have this other guy that worked for me, his name is Garrett. He goes to an event and he says, you've got to meet this guy Roberto. And I said, dude, I know who Roberto is, let's reconnect. So I was speaking in Costa Mesa, and if I were to relive what that was like in Costa Mesa, I basically stood in one spot, nervous as hell, monotone, and Roberto filmed it as I talked to these financial professionals in the most painful manner possible. I would recreate it for you, but I like it too much. It was painful as hell. So he films it, and then we have a conversation where he critiqued it, and somehow he found the good in that and gave me all the good pieces in that critique, and some things to improve upon. I said, hey look, the other Garrett and I are going to host this event. Why don't you fly in? He got in at 9:30 that morning. We're going to present that night, and at the end of that night, 88 people out of the 121 people in attendance bought my workshop a week and a half later. He chest bumped me, fist bumped me. We watched the video till 3 a.m. with the critique. So I'm here to tell you this guy has massively impacted my life. He's a little too humble to say it. And the one-on-one coaching is at such another level of what you can get. I was not a speaker when I met him. I was not an influencer, but I wanted to be. And he took it to a completely different level of bringing me confidence and capability that I never had before. And dude, the guy, more than almost anyone I've ever met, just leads with value. It's always value first, more value, more value, more value. I always felt like I was ripping him off when I paid him, because I just felt like that's what he brought. And so he's coming to this profession because I introduced him to someone, and absolutely, I think, can make a transformation if you engage with him and work with him. So, like I said, this was unsolicited. I just felt compelled to let you know the impact that this gentleman can make. So,